And that's what we did not see very effectively, especially during team fights. But of course, that was very useful during ganks, wherein, okay, just get in here, hide from the bush, and set up your assault and battery. You know what? This week, I have a feeling that we're gonna be seeing a lot of Ziggs ban.
A Ziggs ban? Yes, I actually agree with you there. We're not going to be seeing the Ziggs Lux combo just because you can get away with a lot of things, and mainly Vi actually being banned out. That means what? That means possibilities.
Ooh.
That means Braum is open. That means
And
means
also,
what are you going to be? Galio is going to be open if they do ban out this Gragas. Galio's open.
Yeah. And I don't know, ban on the guy seems like starve out aim as well in one of his comfort picks. And like you mentioned, Gragas, or rather Galio is open. We'll see if he will be still that effective right after the adjustments.
I am curious because I don't think we've ever seen JC on the Galio pick ever, and it's definitely more on, I suppose, Aiko's expertise, because we usually see JC on the carry role, not necessarily on the utility side. So I'm very, very curious to see how this pans out. I mean, what if it's on draw? But anyway, Riots is gonna be on Kaisa.
Yeah, I could be. You mentioned that it could be going on to draw as a support, and I feel like right after the adjustments, maybe he might be even more viable in the support rather than in the middle lane. But for the meantime, it's not showing yet, so that is actually a good flex pick, just like how they actually flexed out the Gragas earlier on. Not too sure if that's gonna go on to the mid, Baron, or the jungle. But then again, gotta be a listen over in here. No, it's actually a lock already for AIM.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about what can AIM do if there's not gonna be a Vi, and this is his fallback. We've seen him on the Jarvan. Now he's gonna be here in this Lee Sin pick, but I really like this Rakan pick because you do lack that sort of AoE 5v5 heavy engage, because you do have that Lee Sin, but I feel like that's not going to be enough for your either disengage or engage. But Pantheon! Kaisai, we're seeing a Pantheon here on Galaxy Racers draft. I love it!
This is looking scary because Pantheon, of course, got a buff. And this is gonna be a Katarina as well. There's just so much massive damage, AP in particular, coming from the side of Galaxy Racer. If they are able to free hit, then this is gonna look scary, especially with a taunt coming up from Galio. It is you guys not able to hit us because you're getting taunted, but it is us gotta go for a free hit on you. So, but to Diana, whoa! Fresh champions we've got in here in the battlefield. Riku, I know you know so much about League of Legends lore. I don't know, but how do you find the compositions for both teams? Especially these are really fresh champions that we are seeing as of the moment.
There's so much to say. But from what I see in the draft, it's definitely going to be either a Pantheon jungle and a support Galio. And it's so exciting to see because we mentioned earlier in the draft that, hey, Galio, that's probably not, JC style. That's probably Eiko style. But yeah, we saw the Katarina lock in, and that's what we saw. I mean, you don't have the Wukong, but you do have that taunt. You do have that single target stun from that Pantheon, so it works so well. And the fact that they took two champions that is able to fly across the map and get that numbers advantage is just so huge for Galaxy Racer. I cannot wait for this to work. But action, they do have Diana. We're seeing Eiko on the Diana, which we usually see Eiko on on a very utility mid laner picks usually. So I'm excited to see this, unless the Diana is actually on Ikaros. There's so many things.
Yes, I know how excited you are. I'm so excited too because these teams, they are giving us not just competitive but also entertainment here as we watch, of course, the Philippine Icon series, and I'm just so excited to see how this will pan out because, of course, in terms of the composition of Galaxy Racer, that needs a good layering of abilities. You can't just go all out or go in as a as a Katarina, definitely you need to time it with the taunt coming or the CC coming up from either the Pantheon or the Galio. So this is gonna be tricky. Maybe if they have practiced this anyway, I'm just so excited to see it work out as well. But of course, you do not discount what a Diana can do as well. So we'll just see about that. Now we've got the position is, and just like what we've said, what we've guessed, Galio is gonna be a support.
Yeah, gonna be a support for sure. You've got the engage set in, and want to say that it is going to be Eiko on the Diana and Yamada on the Akali. Ikaros though will be on that Garen, so that lane is sort of neutralized. You do want, if you can't win the lane, might as well just neutralize the lane with that Garen pick.
Everyone's, for the meantime, gonna be just going for some meet-up in the middle lane, gonna be warding those area in the riverbed. So at least they're gonna be having a good time in trying to contest the scuttlers.
Yeah, just trying to provide some vision over at the riverside, just as you mentioned, to get that first Rift Scuttler. I love it. I love this mid-jungle matchup here. We've got the Diana and as well as the Lee Sin. And then you have the Pantheon and the Katarina. They complement themselves super duper well. I'm excited to see some very impactful Moonfall plays coming from Eiko here. I want to see that huge amounts of damage and that CC and that Wombo combo in. So we'll have to check that out later for sure, especially if they do want to get those early picks before getting towards that first dragon.
Yes, for sure. For the meantime, we didn't see any aggressive invades happening. Yes, that was a listen. But then again, you also got to be careful of the early damage that the composition of Galaxy Racer can do. Again, that's a Katarina early game. That's also a Saya early game. And definitely can match up in terms of early damage, especially if you don't have magic resist available in your isolation.
That is true. Good thing Eiko does have that shield from Diana as well to be able to counter a little bit of damage coming through from JC. That is the reason why, JC has been winning these trades here and there. Gotta be careful though for Katarina because when you ult, you do have a lot to stop your ult in the middle of it, with the Rakan in there, with the charm, with Eiko's Moonfall as well, and the Lee Sin kick. So gotta be careful with that timing on JC's ult.
Pretty sure AIM tried his best to find a good time onto ganking the middle laner Katarina because JC is homophobic because in the middle lane. We're gonna be seeing that first blood happen already. Gonna be backing away before a sonic wave goes on to you, but the backup is actually in here, coming out from X here. Really good timing of the Pantheon in here. Oh, the Katarina once more blood. Woo, don't dive in too deep, or else you might be getting that turret damage onto your leader of belt. But we're not yet done because of action is also happening down bottom part of the map. But just a little bit of pokes here and there, and that was again the first blood just a few seconds ago in the middle lane.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I said earlier that, Eiko does have that shield, so the trades here and there will be in their favor. But if you don't have that in the first iteration, when you do want to engage, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble, as JC did have that barrier activated in that exchange earlier and was able to win the 1v1. I mean, Ignite didn't get to tick as Eiko expected it to be, and therefore didn't end in a 1-for-1 exchange. Actually, almost risking aim there as well, but good with just that first blood. Now, 30 seconds on the clock before that first Drake spawns. We'll have to see what these teams decide to do. Either get a pick first before entering this Drake, or perhaps fight it out 5v5. I think it might be very scary for both of these teams because they do have the capability of fighting as fives, but I do have to hand it to Galaxy Racer because of how so much impactful ultimates that can be laid on towards the riverside.
That's true. Because they got the semi-global ultimates, they can just try to go pressure a particular lane in the map and just back up in case it's very much needed. In case, a clash happens while they were busy trying to take priority in the lanes. But for the meantime, the dragon has been available already. We have yet to wait a fight that might happen anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely going to be a very, very interesting, a bit of a tug of war, invisible tug of war, if you will. But looking at this, though.
Oh yes, indeed, very aggressive play here, and the backup incoming from the Galio. Gonna be going for the taunt. The CC as well is contributing a lot in allowing the members of Galaxy Racer to pull off and deal lots of massive damage in here. Blade Caller in here, not gonna be taking the target, but then again, just enough to shove away the members of Action PH. Gonna go for that reset for the meantime before they actually head on to the Cloud Drain objective.
Yeah, they're very, very happy about that. But for APH, they decided to, okay, let's give away this white dragon, this air drake rather, and then go towards exchange again towards another objective off of the map. We saw this between the Secret and as well as Next Play before, and it's definitely one of the things that you can do in exchange. At least you get something off of the map. And not exchange it with nothing, basically. This is a good consolation prize, extra gold for that first blood tower for them. But GXR still very, very scary.
Oh, in here though, on the top side, gonna be making use of stasis earlier on, but to no afford, still gonna be falling down onto the hands of the Kaisa with the Ecthian rate damage. Was just way too much damage to take in. 3v1 situation going up the top. There is quite another extended chase!
Oh no!
Oh, that was a mistake on the Dragon Rage, saving the life of the Garen. And I think this time we can actually pretty much notice how somehow A maybe is not really used to making use of the Lee Sin. Not too sure. Or maybe he was actually assuming, okay, the Dragon Rage will help us secure the kill, but hold up front because we have another objective fight happening here. No, they're just gonna be leaving that one out onto the Galaxy Racer team. And what are your thoughts from that fight, Riku?
It's so hard for Action PH to try and secure and stay long under Moonfall.
Oh man, a fight under the turret in here, but that's no problem because look at what Draw actually managed to do, just taking in all the damage while the rest of the members are still trying to go for a free hit against the champions, against the members of Action PH, and at the same time still, just dealing some damage on the turrets as well. But for the meantime, that Garen was quite busy up top. Aim in here. I don't think he will be able to defend this all alone. I think he needs to back out.
He does. I mean, it would be a little bit of waste for that Guardian Angel. You do need that in the following potential fights if you do want to try and pick someone out. But yeah, not looking too good for Action here, as Galaxy Racer can just sort of walk. Well, not in this case, not walk, but fly casually to places where Action PH is sort of converging and trying to get objectives. And, GXR just tries to ruin their day with the Pantheon ult and as well as that grand entrance from Draw here on that Galio. So it's making things awkward for Action PH. So I guess their advantage is I was hoping to see the Diana shine. I was hoping to see Eiko shine in that Diana pick because, that's the strength, having a ton of burst and as well as that, AoE CC, if you will, with that Moonfall. But we really didn't get to see Eiko's lane work in the first 10 minutes.
Some pokes here and there, just maintaining the minion waves in all of the lanes. Not really gonna go for that fight. I think they're also just waiting for the ultimate coming out from Draw, as of course they're not present. So it's just a waiting game, waiting for the right pick off. And talking about pick off, I think they saw Yamada in here onto the top side part of the map, gonna be hiding on to that Twilight Shroud. But while they were actually busy on that part of the map, that we can see in here, the turret in here in the middle lane is gonna go down, and they're gonna go all in onto the tip fight. Look at the protection being given by Draw, making use of this Galio, and this is just basically the Saya gonna go for a free hit everywhere around the corner where he finds a target. This is looking good so far for a Galaxy Racer.
And that was such a really nice fight, definitely, for Galaxy Racer. They managed to get a few kills, even though their mission was to just use the Rift Herald and then destroy the first tier tower in the mid lane, but they got a little bit of bonus and got 2 kills off of that. And now, another big challenge for Action. How will they be able to secure this second dragon? Because Galaxy Racer is slowly building up, drop.
Everyone's just willing to commit. All in. Ekati and Rain gonna be trying to deal some damage, but not enough though, however. And in this situation, quite a messy team fight happening. Targets here and there though, but we can see that Kali trying to go for a backline fight, trying to flank from one side to another. That was really good play come here from Yamada Sakali, but then again, not too sure if the Leon is gonna be sustaining, but then again, he will just fall down. One member left for the side of Action
Yamada wants to kill.
Yamada definitely would want to kill a target, but that was a very heroic play to try to survive up against 3 members on the side of Galaxy Racer. Not to mention, they were quite tanky, and they're also, or he might also be getting some damage from that mountain break.
Ooh, you could really sense that Yamada wanted another kill. He played so well in that fight, but unfortunately, GXR's composition is just way better at these, front to back or 5v5 compositions in general. And for GXR, I mean, for Action, it's just so hard to try and dive the backline because either you're greeted with a taunt, you're in range of a taunt, you're in range of Spear's stun as well. So it's just a bit challenging if you get into melee range, and there's just so many things going on, as well as Hikaru's on the Garen. It's just doing Garen things.
But they're not just done in here in the middle lane though. They are actually ready to poke, but they need to be very careful just a little bit because we can see the Katarina's already half alive. Not even scared about getting that honey fruit in front of the face of the members of Action PH. So yeah, this is really looking like a confident Galaxy Racer this time. They got a massive amount of gold lead at the same time, so I think it's just understandable as to why they're quite a little bit overextending right after the riverbed.
Yeah, they gotta be careful for APH. At this point, they cannot get separated, or else if they try to get a pick off of someone, it's just gonna be a spear and as well as Straw flying across the map and joining them and just taking things away from you, taking away that numbers advantage away from you. And for GXR, they're gonna be satisfied with that.
Go in here, you can see they're trying to punish the Garen. I don't think this is a good idea. They're gonna get all in here onto the top side part of the map. A 3v3 situation. Gonna be going for that stasis. It's Diana is to save his life, but will that be enough? Look at that! Very aggressive play coming from the Katarina, taking in some damage coming up from the turret, but then again the backup that came in just from the Pantheon was somehow quite enough to actually help save this. Yamada is just doing some great plays, but unfortunately it seems like he will not survive because that was again quite a little bit of something that is very heroic to go up against 3 to 4 members of Galaxy Racer. You're gonna love what Yamada is doing, but unfortunately I think it doesn't fit the composition so well for him to be able to make that kind of play.
Yeah, especially if the ones that are left are maybe a Garen, maybe the Galio, a little bit too tanky for you to try and burst down in one combo and then get out. You usually have to stick around a little bit more, hide around the shroud, and then wait for your cooldowns, but that's 2 rotations you have to wait for, and it might be a little bit too late. So that is the struggle. Yamada and as well as Eiko are having trouble bursting these targets down because usually you're greeted by these tanks. You're greeted by these juggernauts, and your main target definitely for JC, and Zivs has a bunch of safety as well with a Feather Storm, so it's a little bit challenging.
Oh, but it found aim in here. Gonna get fully, gonna go for the stasis. I don't think he'll make it out, even with a G as well, unless we can see the second ability is available. But no, he's gonna go for a Sonic Wave, and now gonna be juking out of the fight, saving his life. Finally, fortunately for him. But yeah, 2 things got burned, the stasis as well as the GA. Unfortunately for that Lee Sin, but then again, this is, I think, Galaxy Racer just waiting for them to get a better position into going for a Baron objective phase right after they managed to get the inner turret in the mid as well as onto the top.
Yeah, they're waiting for that opportunity. That is the reason why they quickly jumped on towards aim there, being very alone in the jungle, hoping to get a pick off on their jungler, Action jungler, and that will be that go signal for them to get that dragon, or Baron rather. But they can actually just be a little bit more satisfied, but I'm a little bit worried about Zivs here. He's fine. The rest of the squad is there.
Yes, for sure. I like how they actually back out each other, back each other up. But for the meantime, tribute situation happening. I've got the moment. Back up incoming from
Wow.
Galio as well. Cafe and Rain going from here and there as well. Unfortunately, the Lee Sin will fall down. And in here, the Katarina just has gone wild. Gonna get that quadra kill. While Ikaros is actually not really joining the fight. They got a team ace powered by Oppo Reno fight, and they have the opportunity to actually put this game onto an end since it's 11 minutes, or not 11 minutes, but 11-second game time before someone goes back off, go for a defensive play. I think this is gonna be it. There's a massive amount of minion waves. So I think we can call it, this is gonna be Galaxy Razer's game. It is gonna be a 2-0 score.